Hello there and welcome everybody. It's great to have you with us. I'm Martin Cross. This is Cross's Corner. And today I have an amazing Italian and husky oarswoman, Aisha Rocek. Hi there.
Hello. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm great. Well, people might be able to tell it's a different time of day where I am in the UK to where you are. So tell us where you are and what time it is.
So it is 11 o'clock. I am in Seattle, so I am 9 hours behind you, or 8 hours for UK. Yeah, so today it's sunny. Usually it's quite rainy here, but today it looks sunny. But in 1 hour can change. It's like London.
Uh,
London, it's 1 hour it's sunny and then it's pouring rain.
so tell us what have you been able to do today?
So I slept in a little bit until 7. Usually I wake up before, and then I did the steady state on the erg, and then at 3 we're going on the water. I might go in the single. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What 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 are you do you have a target to reach when you do 20K, or does it matter? Do you just go on a pulse rate?
I mean, we have like the heart rate that
Mm,
we should like follow. Yeah, just we do 4 by 21 minutes, and you do that time. And I today I reached 20K, so my split was like 205. But it's my third week that I'm training because I was in Shanghai. So I'm getting back in the volume, and I'm getting a little bit fitter every week. Sometimes it's rough to come back on the erg after
yeah.
big events and stop a little bit. But yeah, I did 20K. Yeah, with that split, and my heart rate is going down, so it's pretty nice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, how easy was the season to be at school in Seattle with Washington, and also to try and do the World Championships in Shanghai? How did that work for you?
I mean, I finished. Sorry, there is a person who is like cleaning the road here. If it's noisy, sorry. So I finished the school in June, my quarter, and then we went to NCA, and so in summer I didn't have like any school, so I was pretty like free. But like for example, now, you know, we go to school, we train, we go to school, we have to have like good grades, and then we go in the afternoon to train. So like we have to schedule our school with training, but also our training has to be scheduled with school. So it's
Hmm.
but yeah, it's pretty helpful. Like I'm coming from Italy, where you don't have this kind of system. So basically, you start like rowing in a club, and so you don't like club sport and school are not connected. So
Yeah.
it's always been like very hard for me to, um, you know, be like with school and be into school, because I was always um, like professors were like, oh, why are you doing this sport? Like they weren't very they weren't
Accommodating.
accommodating with me. And yeah, I always had like troubles and like explain them, oh, I have to go to training camp, and I have to stay 2 weeks, and I have to miss school. And so it was pretty hard. But here they're very nice, and you have advisors that help you. And it's definitely like the best choice that I ever taken in my life, because I gave before I was focused just for rowing, and then I realized when I was 21 that after Tokyo that you know rowing it's not going to be forever, and so you will have another career after rowing. So that's yeah, here it's very good, and I'm rowing and I'm studying and having fun with rowing. And yeah, so
You say rowing's not going to be forever, Aisha, but
Yeah.
it seems like you've been rowing forever,
Yeah.
because I was looking back. You started in 2016, and then you got into the World Championships,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
almost in 2018, and you were at the Europeans in 2017.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, sorry. I started rowing in 2015.
50.
15, it was like the end of 2014.
Yeah.
Because before I was a volleyball player, I got in rowing because my dad was a rower for Czech Republic. And I was a volleyball player because my mom was a volleyball player. But then I stopped volleyball. I went into rowing. I did like 1 year of full training. And then I went to Rotterdam in the pair, and
Mm.
we actually won the pair, and we set the world record.
I
And
remember you there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was pretty like very very rough weather. I remember it was very windy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
wind helped a lot. And so that was like one of the first like huge, you know, event that I did. And then from that, they, you know, they were like, "Oh, you want to join the senior team?" And I was like, "Oh yes, of course." I was still in school. And then I did 2017. We started with like women's sport as a project because Italy didn't have like doesn't have like a big huge like women's story for history, sorry, for rowing. So like from 2017 they started like a project to keep going to Tokyo and Paris. And then 2018 did my experiences, and then I was like, oh, now it's 2019, it's now the time that you know I have to aim for something big. And with my pair partner Kiri, we went to Linz. We qualified the boat, and we got fifth or sixth in the
You
final.
you were six. That was a
Yeah,
fantastic
yeah.
result.
I was the semi-final, honestly. I mean, when you're young, like you don't think too much. You like I told to I still remember, and I always tell her, Makiri, I always tell her, like when we went to the start, it was a semi-final, and there was something big to achieve, and I was like, just let's have fun, like it would be a nice. My father always like told me, oh yeah, every before every race, so let's have a good walk. Like it would be fine, it would be relaxing, don't worry about that. And so I told her at the start, and then we did like we came from 6 foot, like we were like at 500 meters,
Yeah.
we were like fifth, and then we got the second, and yeah, we qualified. And it was a huge for Italy, especially because it was there is like uh, the reason why I wanted to do the pair, and I wanted to qualify the pair. I wanted to go to Olympics in Tokyo with the pair, because like in my club, I don't know if you remember Sara Bertolasi.
Yeah.
He was the Italian woman who was like in London. She did the pair, and then in 2016 she did another time the pair. And there is a huge picture in my club because she's from,
Ah.
and so I always was like, oh, I want to go there, because
Yeah.
like her like qualification picture with Claudia Wurzer, and I was like, oh, actually, that's what I want to do. And it happened in Linz, and I still have goosebumps. And it was, but I was 19, I was 20, like I didn't know what was going on, like I was like, oh, let's do it. I was always like so focused, and just you know rowing was my life, everything. Um, and actually in 2017, when I was in the senior team, I came here in Washington to do the official visit because they wanted me in 2017.
Is
But
that because of you won the juniors in Rotterdam?
yes,
Yeah.
they offered me a scholarship. I came here, I visited the university, but then I was like, oh, actually, I want to stay in Italy, and I want to go to Olympics.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was coming here. I didn't know if I could like aim for Olympics. I was still too young, and I don't remember like my 3 days here. I was like, you know, still like in my world.
Yeah.
and yeah, nothing. I qualified the boat, and then COVID happened, 2020, and when we qualified the year after, like our federation asked to me and Kiri if we wanted to qualify the women's four uh, for uh, for Tokyo, even though we qualified the pair, because
So
they were like,
to
oh,
double up.
no, they were like more, oh, do you want to do the women's four? I think you can do very well. You can give spots to the team, and
Yeah.
it was like more for the team and give, spots for more people. And also, like in 2019, we qualified the quad, the pair. It was like the lightweight double, and so we were missing like other four spots. So we went, me and Kiri, we went into like the women's four, and with other two girls that actually one was here in Washington, Chiarondoli, and I, and with Alessandra Patelli, we tried to
Yeah.
qualify, but then COVID happened. They postponed everything. So we were doing well actually, but then Kiri got COVID 2 weeks before the qualification.
No.
Um, it was a lot, I was young and I was very focused on that. We got at the end we got third at the qualification.
Yeah.
Like we did the heat, or was like the lane race. We got second. We were like, China was very strong, but I think they were
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
holding the cards, and I think China then got third or second in Tokyo. So we were like very competitive, but then we didn't qualify, and so me and Kiri, we had to come back in the pair, and regain our spot. And of course, like we were, and good enough to be in that boat. And then the other two girls got a spot in the double. That was a very stressful time, honestly. And when you're like 20, 21, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And then we went to Tokyo in the pair, and we did well in the heat, but then we got 12. And when you reach the pinnacle, it's of your life, and then it wasn't like, of course it was disappointing. I was still young, but I gave everything for that.
Yeah.
Everything was on that. And after that I was like, oh, I think I need to change something in my life, because like this I will quit rowing, you know
Really.
yeah. I was August was the I remember Tokyo as the event, but I don't remember some details.
Yeah.
I removed a lot of stuff, and I remember coming, and it was like a very sensitive like moment of my life, and I was like at the airport like crying, and
Mm.
my coach, he was trying to help me and just be supportive, but then I was like, what, I will try to I will come try to go to a university. And I reached out to University of Washington, and I was like, oh yeah, there is still like a spot for me. And then I when I was 21, in January, I was here because before I had to go to London to study English, um,
Okay.
because I needed
Yeah.
an English test. So I rode at Thames.
Really.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah, it was so nice. Yeah, it was very nice, honestly. And it was weird for me because Italians tend to train very late, at 9:30
Yeah.
in the morning. We were like very chill, and there they were like training at 5:30 with dark. And I was like, at the time I was living with my actual boyfriend. We were just housemates, and I was telling him, oh, but these people are crazy. Like, and it was coming from a person who went like to Olympics. And I was like, oh, you must be very passionate to just go out at 6 p.m. And it was funny how I was learning a new world, a new culture, a new, also seeing rowing not just as like professional, like a job. I was
Yeah.
seeing oh, actually, rowing is fun. I had fun, don't get me wrong, but it was like when you're 19, 20, you have to take like rowing more easier and not like, you know. But of course, it brought me to Olympics, and it was huge, and I reached my dream. But then, I saw the other side where like you don't reach what maybe you wanted, and I wasn't expecting a medal. I was, of course, because like I was still young, but then
Yeah, yeah,
we did so well the years before, but
yeah.
everything messed up. It was messed up with COVID, and maybe like I was young, mentally, maybe not prepared for all this pressure. Yeah, then I came here in Seattle in January after London, and I think it was the best, yeah, experience I could decide to choose here.
How easy or difficult was it for you to transition into being at school in Seattle? Because I know I've spoken to some women who found the transition very challenging.
Um, I think it wasn't hard for me because I was already 21. I was already, I lived outside, like far from home since I was 20, 18, so it wasn't very like for that side, it was like easy because I used to be like far from home. Even
Mm,
like it was, I think, hard for me to adapt like to a new training, because in Italy we were doing a lot of like we are doing like steady state, for example, but like much more harder. And
mm,
like
mm.
like here, of course, it's like hard, but like it's more controlled. Like I was doing
Yeah.
steady state, I remember I was like, oh, 157, 158 in Italy. And maybe here I'm like, oh, actually steady state has to be like hard, but like you have to be able to breathe. And so I wanted to take everything so hard, and I
Mm,
wasn't understanding that I had to a little bit like, oh, understand the program, and there are moments where you have to it push hard, but then there are moments where like you have to train and give like volume and like um yeah, I mean, it was hard, but like I was enough mature and to like be here and understand, what is correct, what is not correct, and what I need to do. And um I think also, yeah, just adapting to the training, like wake up that early and
mm.
then go to school, because of course it's draining a little bit. Like you have to organize yourself a lot, like very well to combine like studies
Yeah,
and
yeah.
training. And like for example, today I did just rowing because I don't have classes, but like from Monday to Thursday I have a class, and so I have to wake up, go to training, um, eat, go to class, come back, go, have another training, and then finish, go home, study. And then the day is always like this. Of course, there are also fun moments, but like the routine is quite like similar every day. Um, I would say I think since I was like 17, I always been like in not hard moments, but like moments where like maybe for 18 years old, it's too much, but then I,
Mm,
I went to those moments like, and I handled it very well. And so when I came here, everything was fine, because I lived, you know like hard moments already before,
mm. Yeah.
and I don't know if it makes sense, but it wasn't too hard for me. And I also the team and like the coaches here are like supportive, and if you need something, they're like everything it's controlled, and like they know that like we're not just athletes, and they try to always accommodate you. And um, the teammates that you like, they understand, maybe like freshmen, but maybe there are the seniors, and they support you and tell you, oh, it's fine. Like every freshman who comes here, it's always like hard, but then you get used to that. And um, but there is the support 100% here of the team.
Yeah. Did you make the varsity eight as a freshman?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Actually, that time, I think it was the best period for me, like when I got here, because I was training, but I think I was training less. And
Mm.
my earth course and like I think my roaming was better, even though I was training a little bit less than like the Olympic training. And I understood that, like, of course more is is good, but like sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did the varsity 8. We got actually fourth, and actually I was rowing with TL Cohen, Holly Drapp, Ella Cox,
Oh,
those
yeah.
people, and other people, Valentina Iseppi, who also went to Olympics.
Oh, yes.
There were so many good athletes that year that actually now are doing so well. Um, it was fun year, yeah. It was also strong, very strong team. Very,
Yeah.
yeah. But then
Uh,
also with COVID, I think, yeah, it was still like 2022. There were still like people sick for COVID.
mm.
Yeah, but yeah.
What and then was it in the next year? Was it 23? You won silver medals at the NCAA.
Yes, yeah, 2023. It was also that year. It was fun. I actually had to stay 2 months in Italy with the national team. It was from January to February, because I was like, they wanted me, and I wanted to show them that I was
Com-
caring about the national team. And then, I mean, I did from September to December, and then I got back home 2 months, and then I came back here.
Yeah.
um, Also, yeah, at that time there was Ella Cossil, stroking, and it was a good time. We weren't like strong as a team, but we were moving the boat very well. It's a good memory that year. And then I went after NCA. I went home, and I went to Serbia for yeah, the Olympic
Yeah.
qualification.
Belgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, and I doubled it up there.
Yeah.
I did the pair with actually Alice, who got fourth this year.
Mm.
And we did also the eight, yes. And yeah, also that was interesting. Honestly, I did like 7 races in that event.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was, because we had the heats, the batteries, heats, repechage in both of the boats. And then we ended up not qualifying,
Uh, yeah.
not qualifying anything, because actually the pair we got 12, but then we were like ahead almost the entire race. And then we had the intention to qualify, but then we blew up.
Oh
Yeah.
no. I
Yeah, we grew up. Yeah,
um. So how much pressure did that put on you? Those results.
yeah. I was. I think if I watch that race, I still have like bad feelings
Yeah.
because it was. I wasn't like. I don't know. I think we started too quick, too fast. It was like outside our. Like it was outside, like far from our limits. Like
You were the stroke, were you?
yeah, I was a stroke, and I think the last 300 meters, I could not move anymore. Like
Yeah.
Asilatic like took me, and but then we were also racing in the eight, and so yeah, we tried to qualify the eight, and we didn't qualify. I mean, the level was high, and also like we were together 1 month with that boat, so we gave everything, but then
Yeah.
um but yeah, and then yeah, I stayed home. I took a gap year from here.
When
uh,
did you decide to do that?
when I decided.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I mean, we saw that like the eight was could qualify. We got six, and
Mm,
we were like, oh, maybe there is a chance actually to qualify. And so the coaches asked me, oh, you want to stay home? Like we can do it. And
mm.
so it was August, September.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I stayed home, and then we went to Lucerne to
Yeah.
qualify the boat, the eight, and we qualified, and it was, I think that race was one of the hardest race I think of my life,
Why?
because I think the Olympic qualification, like the year before, if you don't qualify, you know that you have another chance. But
Mm,
then when you go to Lucerne, it's called the Death Regatta. Like, that after that chance, you can't qualify, so you can't reach your dream to go to
yeah.
Olympic. And so I think we did well in the heat, but then like I think the final wasn't our best race. Um, I think like your body is like the adrenaline, and
Yeah.
there is something big to achieve, and totally different from 2019 or 2021 when we tried to qualify the women's four. It was like, yeah, inside
Mm,
of course it's fear, but like it's, you know that you're going to lose a lot. And we really wanted to qualify that boat, and it was, if we were qualifying, it was the first eight going to Olympics for Italy. And so then we achieved it. We got first, but it wasn't our best race. But
no.
everyone was like, very.
I remember watching you at the Europeans in Plovdiv that year,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was a great result for you. And I kind of was thinking, oh, this Italian women's eight is really
yeah,
starting to move quickly.
yeah. Actually, yeah, we went to Was it Plovdiv? It was actually
No,
uh,
Szeged,
Szeged, yeah. And
Szeged, not
then,
Plovdiv,
yes,
Szeged.
but before we did Varese and we won the World Cup. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, we won the World Cup. It was like this, but that time we were like very, very fit. Like I think our program, like in that time, like I don't know, there were other boats that did very well. I don't know if you remember. There was the men's four who did like this sprint at
oh,
4.
they beat the
Yeah,
British at
we
Varese.
were like on.
Yeah,
Then we did Plovdiv, and then our preparation was until Lucerne, the last spots, the Death Regatta. But then I think from that we went a little bit down as a preparation,
yeah.
because preparation goes up and down, and then we went to Paris. I think even there we didn't perform as we should have done. Um, but yeah, I think it was very cool to be in the eight and bring the Italian eight in Paris, and be
What
yeah.
what difference has that made to Italian women's rowing in particular?
What difference?
Has the result, the eight qualifying for Paris and
Yeah, it
reaching the
was,
final?
I think 6 or 7 like seconds as
Yeah,
low.
but what has that meant for women, young women rowing in Italy, or what message has that sent to the federation? Or
Yeah, I think it's that, like, Italy never had like a history of long boats, and they saw us, and now young people will say, oh yeah, we actually can aim for something like this. It's not just small boats. There could be actually more spots for um you know Italian rowers, and you just have to believe um in that boat and in what you're doing, and you achieve everything if you want and you believe in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe your Paris experience?
I
Um,
think, yeah. I think it was very fun. I think they're very different from Tokyo
Yeah,
because Tokyo was quite there was no crowd, crowd and like no people watching us, and everything was like shut down, and it was a weird Olympic Games, and then I went to Paris, and I was like, actually, when I was done with Tokyo, and then like thinking about like my future to maybe go to another Olympic game. I was like, oh, but actually, I want to go to another Olympic Games because I'm like, I want to see how is a real Olympic Games,
yeah,
and
yeah.
actually, like it was totally different from Tokyo. I lived, you know, you go to the village and like you meet like all the people, you can chat with everyone, and um, even like the boat was fun. We gave our best, and we of course we knew that like to aim for the medal, we needed more, like maybe more time, no more time, but like maybe be a little bit stronger, and
Mm,
we were working on it, but like our boat wasn't like 640, it was like 655, so
mm,
we were like racing against like giants, and also people that like have like a history of
mm.
an eight, and not get me wrong, but like when there is a 640 and a 655, it's a little bit different, but we were like trying to battle with our technique, um and not
What
just
is your PB on the rowing machine?
648.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's the point is that I did that when I was 20, and
No,
I'm 26 now, and still on. I went always closer, but never like broke it. So
yeah,
I have to understand how to break it, and if I don't know if I have to change something in my training, and always went close. But maybe I also did like some PRs in the 6K, but at 2K I have to still understand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But like I think the Italian style like helps us to you know be quicker a little bit, and we not focus just on power, and oh
Mm,
yeah, like you're 640 or 635, you can do whatever you want, but actually we can beat people that are 635, and maybe people that are 7.
yeah. I want to ask just about the Italian eight in a moment, but I'm guessing your family was in Paris, and I know you are a twin, and
Yes.
Patrick is
Yeah.
your brother.
Yeah, my twin brother, Patrick. Yeah, so basically, my family, we're not just, we are two sets of twins.
No, that's
So,
crazy.
yeah, so we are the second set of twins. There is actually another set of twins, Maurizio and Samantha, who are 7 years older, and it's a male
Wow.
and female. And then, yeah, I have my twin brother, Patrick, and yeah, I mean, I got in rowing because my twin brother was rowing. And so I'm very attached to him. And right now he's in Melbourne. He's coaching with Matt Ryan. I don't know if you
Oh
remember.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So he's now, like I'm in Seattle, he's in Australia. My parents are like,
yeah.
you know yeah, so my mom came, my boyfriend, my dad didn't come, but he was following, and my sister came. Yeah, everyone was very happy, and also was my second Olympic games, so it was a big achieve for me. Yeah, the now in Italy, there's no woman who did the free Olympics game.
Oh
So
really?
yeah, so there is this thing that like everyone is like, oh, you should aim for a third one, and of course, like I'm thinking about that. I need to finish my studies, and
Mm,
but everyone is like, oh yeah, like could be history. But with the new system with Antonio Colamonici, and um we're like, I'm still understanding if it's still my path. I'm still rowing, still like finishing my
Yeah.
studies, rowing here, giving everything for Washington, and then um,
How new? Yeah. So I'd like to talk about that and come
mhm.
back to that. Um, you mentioned Antonio Colomanici. How new is his system?
It's quite new. Yeah, I think yeah, the training is totally different from what we were doing before.
In what way?
It just the system that we had before was like a lot of workouts. Like we were doing like 4x4K on like 28, 30 strokes all out or all out. Like we were doing a lot of high intensity.
Yeah.
With Antonio, we do a lot of volume, more low intensity, a lot of starts, a lot of sprints, a lot of it's more Antonio's Colamonici Antonio's is like polarized program,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the other one I don't know the name. Like, there are different, but they're very different, and also like
Is it like Lemura's program?
we were doing Lamura before, and now
Yeah.
he's doing like polarized. Mm, it's not, yeah, it's maybe I think he's following a little bit Lamura, but
Yeah.
for some like workouts, maybe Lamura was doing like some workouts on running, and now he's doing on the bike, on the erg bike, because
Yeah.
it's very training. But yeah, before we were doing Lamura, and it was very tough. Like we were doing like 4x4K all out with 5 minutes rest, and that was like, and that was, I mean, like when I do workouts here in my head, I'm like, oh, actually, I did like very like bad things during my career, like very hard stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the same program that also the Irish team was doing.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I was listening like Fiona's interview, and I was like, she was saying, oh, I was training a lot, and I was, you know, but then like now I'm training less, a little bit less, and I have like better results. So like I understood that, like, of course it's important to push hard and like push
Yeah.
high intensity, but I think like Kolamonici's like program will give results like in more, of course, in more like years, because like he came in like when in January. So like he had this 5 months, 6 months to like
Yeah. Yeah.
get in. And I think it's hard, Antonio's, but like it's a lot of volume, and a lot of 22 strokes, and like a lot of starts. Like he do 250 start.
Mm.
I'm like spoiling a little bit his program, but he's fine with it. But yeah, a lot of yeah, especially in winter, a lot of volume, a lot of volume.
Yeah.
But
Um,
more controlled, definitely.
yeah. Um, you made such a great step to qualify for the Olympics and reach the final. But what I'm wondering is what step or steps does the Italian women's eight need to make to say challenge the British for a bronze
Mm.
medal to get into the podium
Mm.
place? How does that happen?
Um, I think definitely we have to work on, yeah, have more powerful girls for sure, and understand that the eight, it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of, like, it doesn't matter if you a good rower and the strongest rower, but like if you are in the middle of the boat and maybe you're not following because you think about, yeah, like you're rowing, the boat is split.
Yeah.
um, without like any reference, but like I think it just like understand that the eight, it's totally different from the pair, from the women's four. It's a giant boat, and um it just more powerful girls, and I understand that it's a teamwork, and everyone is there for the other one. Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Because
opinion.
because the pair was the first boat, wasn't it, for this year? Was it with Cadato?
Yeah, yeah. They actually, yeah, they did very well, and then they got fourth.
Yeah, why didn't they medal? I was wondering why they didn't medal. And the Americans got bronze, didn't they? And they just missed out.
I don't know. I think maybe pressure.
Mm,
Definitely, it's a boat that is going to do very well in the next years,
yeah,
and I think they're very talented. And I think with the new system with Colamonici, I think he's like more. You have to feel the boat. You have, of course, the technique is important, but what I learned in the 2 months, he wants that you before you learn how to move the boat and feel the boat, and then we can talk about technique. Of course, you can do with mature athletes because we've been like
yeah,
with a system who taught us like a lot of rocking over, a lot of like drills, a lot of, and now we're like pretty good on that, and I think we weren't good to fill the boat, but yeah, that pair is very good, and I think also Alice was in the boat with me.
mm,
She was like in the Europeans, and she grew up so much, and
yeah,
she got stronger also. So I'm very happy for them, and it's I hope that they're going to do well, and one day, like, I hope that I can do a boat with them. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so in Shanghai, you got the chance to do this new event, this mixed eight. So tell me how that came about. Tell me how you got a seat in it.
I think I got a seat because it's I 2021 2022 I came here and I started the eight. I never did the eight before.
Yeah,
And so I think I know I've been like
yeah,
3 years in the eight, so I know how to be in the eight. And I think, I mean, I have good times, and I think Colamonici thinks maybe that I'm good enough to stay in the eight. Yeah, they put Codato and Laura, and then Elisa Mondelli, actually.
yeah,
Lippo's sister, and because I think we were like the strongest,
yeah.
the valid one. And then we were with Giacomo.
How
Giacomo,
was that?
yeah. I mean, you met Giacomo. He's
Yeah,
a funny guy. It was honestly, it was a good event. It was so fun. Honestly, there was Giacomo that was like at the start, like saying hi to other people, and because he won also the medal, he won the gold medal, so he was like pretty relaxed. And then there was Panis, who, he's a strong guy, so you could
yeah,
feel like we were behind, and like the boat was going up, and it was like, oh, we have to stay behind them, like we can't like lose their rhythm, like
yeah,
it was super nice to also learn how to be on like higher speeds, like we reached at the start like 113, 120 to 12, and
no.
the pace was like 121.
What
And
did
there
that
was
feel
Laura.
like?
Yeah, it
What
was
did
it
that
was
feel like
so
for
great.
you?
Like, there was Laura who was behind. She was like, "Oh, I'm flying behind here." Yeah, it was fun. Honestly, one of the, yeah, funniest race and fun race of, yeah, my career, and I hope that I can do more times. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Because that's your first senior world championship medal. How important was that medal to you?
Yeah, it was, no, yeah, it was good. Like, of course, I'm not, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's not Olympic specialty, like,
Yeah,
I don't put it down, but like, it's a medal important, but it's, I can't go to Olympics with that. If it was like more, I can also go to Olympics. Maybe I'm happy. Don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but I mean, yeah, I had also like in the Europeans when I was in 2019 with Kiri. Actually, we got the third medal, the bronze medal.
yes,
Um, and it was actually my first like senior medal at that time.
yeah.
Um,
Behind the Spanish and the
Romanians,
Romanians.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then in 2021 we did the Europeans. I was with the women's four that it was in Poznan after COVID.
yeah,
Um, yeah, couple of medals, but yeah, of course, I think I have now to finish my studies here, and we'll see if I can, you know, um,
So I'm thinking, listening to you talk, you are focused on where you are now. You have uh, a season ahead, which will culminate with the NCAA. So
yeah.
you'll be hopefully in the varsity eight again. What is the eight like this year? For what does it look like? Before I carry on, for Washington for the women.
We actually did one race on Sunday. We Now it's more like even eights. We
Yeah.
like now it's the start of the year, so we try to make even eights, and then like going ahead this season. And now we're going more like out in small boats, because I think also with the US team, we're trying to like compare,
Mm,
the pairs, and like see how we can do like well also in the eight. So now like you can't understand how will be the eight. But it
okay.
will be more like in March and April for sure. We're going to define the boats more ahead. But it was, I think, fun. Like we did a race on Sunday, and it felt good. To be October. Also, the lineup was like 3 days together. So
Mm,
I felt good. I think it will be a good year, honestly, as my experience and as feeling of the boat.
how
Totally different from other years. Yeah.
how strong is can Washington be compared to other schools like Texas that have big
Um,
football programs?
I think we're not far from them. Um, we just need to define more our style. Um, I think work a lot on like technique drills, and
Mm,
um, we're. I think maybe they're like a little bit stronger as maybe team, like as in numbers.
yeah,
I think rowing is not just about how strong. Like of course it's ergs, but then like if we are able to row together well and then have a good technique and good style, we can beat people that like are giving
yeah,
us like 10 seconds. And I believe in it because I've been in boats where we weren't enough strongs, but then we beat people that had big numbers.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have, I was really surprised. You have over 60 women in the program, and there's just 40 men in the men's program.
Yeah, exactly. We actually last year was 110 people,
That's amazing.
like 110 women's.
How does that work?
I mean, you do erg shifts, and there were like eight on the water once,
No.
and it's honestly incredible because I'm coming from a team of 15 people, and when you get into 100 people, it gets a little bit like you have to be able to handle it. But honestly, it's so cool that we have the chance to row with like such a good people and powerful women and women. And I think like in the past they were like the women like didn't have the chance to row like in the edible house. They were like
Yeah,
rowing like on like old shells. And I met she was Jane Harwill.
yes,
She was a coach for UW, and I met her like last week, and she was like, oh, like we didn't have the chance to get changed at the boathouse, and now like look at you guys, like you have scholarships, you have like this amazing boathouse. And but then this year we have like 80 women, and the guys have like 40. I guess we have like the title 9, and we have to be equal to the football players. Um, so yeah, it's very cool, honestly. To
yeah. And the the support from the alumni and donors are very important, I think, to Washington.
Yeah, honestly, there are so many donors who cares about like UW's athletics, and they give so much money because they believe in this like legacy. And honestly, it's something that like in I think in other countries doesn't exist. So
Really.
don't exist. Yeah, honestly, they yeah, I have a donor, and I'm grateful for them that they pay for my fees, like university's fees, and like they give me a future. And it's cool because it's quite like expensive here to study, and what I'm doing is yeah,
Mm.
so cool. And yeah.
How often do you think of your future? I know you said you're focused on studies, and I quite understand that. How often does your mind go to the future, or is that not something that you think about too much?
um of course I think about my future, but I think I learned that I have to be in the moment.
Hmm.
Like, don't think about the past, because the past is the past, and I can't control that because it already happened, and I can't like fulfill those like empty, spots that I have in my head, because the future I don't know. I can't control also that. Of course, I have like dreams. But what I learned that is that I have to enjoy where I am right now, and when I will be in that future, I will think about. Oh, you were right. Like, you had to think about
Mm.
the moment and live the moment, because sometimes like you forget about where you are, and you actually don't live fully. What
Yes,
I but it's like also when you're young, and I'm young now, but I'm yeah, now 26. So
you are very young now. I can tell you.
of
You,
course, but it's like when I was 21, and I told you before, when I was in Tokyo, I removed some things because I wasn't living in the moment. I was maybe thinking
mm,
about like, oh, actually, if I don't do very well in rowing, what I'm going to do about my future. So of course, like what I learned, and I try to tell to my teammates, because a lot of I'm 26, and my last year, and some freshmen and sophomore the second year, they come up to me, and they say, oh, like what I should do, and like why. And I was like, dude, just relax. Like, you're 21, like how many things are going to happen, and how many improvements you can have. I'm 26, so maybe I'm not, I can
yeah.
improve, but like my improvement is like this, you know, and not because I'm grabbing, or like because I live the like experiences that like sometimes adults live,
Mm,
adults like my age, and I lived when I was 18. So I'm able to give a lot of advices to them, and
yeah.
I'm happy because when I'm going to leave, I will like leave a good you know figure for sure. And like maybe they're going to miss like maybe like a
Mm,
older person where they can ask, and like, because they trust me, and they know that
mm.
I have also experience. So yeah.
So you talked. So what I was thinking as you were talking is very interesting. That when you're a young woman and you talked about the poster on your club of this woman who had been through an injury.
Sarabettiasi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you had dreams. You talked about fulfilling your dreams.
Yeah.
So I wonder, how much do you allow yourself to dream now, or is it different?
Um, I think so. I think when I stopped in Tokyo and I came here, I was like, I wasn't able to dream anymore. I was like pretty broken, pretty like,
Wow.
oh my god, I don't know if I still want to dream another Olympics. And I came here, and like I learned that rowing is something fun, and I can actually aim for something, and I got hungry. And
Mm,
actually, like, I think I learned how to be confident, and I think now in my head there are a lot of maybe dreams, but then I'm like very objective, and I'm like,
yeah,
am I doing like what I really like? Is it something that still makes me happy?
yeah,
And what I think that dreaming, for me, dreaming is like when you feel something here, and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not because you want to do for other people, but because actually you want to do for yourself, and
yeah,
you want to do that. Because I think after Tokyo was kind of like, oh, actually I'm doing for other people. Actually, I don't know if it's something that I want to still do, because I saw how much it took, and how much, 4 years, 5 years where I was training. But now I'm like, I allow me, but I'm objective, and like I ask to myself, oh, actually, you want to do it because it makes you happy, or because you want to do for other people, or yeah. And it has to be like something that uh, it doesn't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to Los Angeles because I did already two Olympics, you
yeah,
know. And I know how much it takes to go to Olympics, and everybody, like especially rowers, they know how much it takes. But I think, yeah, when I think that I'm hungry, that I'm like, oh yeah, actually, I know, I'm confident that I think I can do it, and I create plans. I think in my life I always like tend to create plan A, plan B, and plan
mm.
C, and yeah,
So, so it sounds like you have sometime in the future, as we all do, I guess. You will have decisions to make, and you will work out on how you're feeling, and what's important for you. Next year, the World Championships are in Amsterdam on the
yes,
Bosman.
yeah, yeah.
Where's that on your radar?
Still, work in progress, because
Okay.
I still have some credits to fulfill. um and I have to finish. I'm senior now, and I have like other 35 credits, and I think I have to keep going till summer. But
Yeah,
like, I'm not telling you that I'm not doing that, but if not, like, of course I'm trying to do other events. And then, you know um, if I don't do that, it will be for the year after, or of course it's like 70-30, because I have to finish my studies. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
What are you majoring in?
I'm doing communication.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
So I think communication, I'm international. I'm not English, and so I think it's good for me to learn how to speak and how to communicate. And sometimes, when you're not fully English, and you mess up with like some words, you have to. I'm learning like with this major, and taking classes where you have to write a lot and speak
Yeah,
a lot, and I think it's helping a lot. Still working, because I learned English 4 years ago when I was in London for in
y-
2 months. Honestly, it was.
yeah,
But yeah, I like this major, and I hope that one day I will find something in communication or marketing, and yeah.
yeah. And I guess you could work anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, US is quite tricky, because after your studies, you have to find a job if you want to stay here, because you have like a OTP visa, that it's a
Yeah,
free visa. But in case, well, my boyfriend is from London, so I might maybe go to London, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, of course I will. Yeah, I want to work outside Italy for sure, and um, always like speak English, and also I'm Czech, so maybe one
well,
day, yeah, yeah.
what how come your parents came to Italy?
Because basically my parents had to escape from the Sovietic regime.
Oh,
It was
really?
yeah, they were like 20,
In
and
'68?
yeah, yeah. So they like they're from 1960, and when they were like 20 they left their country because my mom was a volleyball player for Czech Republic, so she
Yeah,
found like the chance to go and play in Italy, and then my father like followed her, so the sport was a
yeah,
huge thing because it was the only way to escape that regime, and it was honestly awful, and I can't imagine leave my country with a backpack or like just a passport and just leave your family. Yeah, we're pretty lucky, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
And
yeah.
and who is your personality more like, your mum or your dad?
I think I am a mix. I am
Everybody
yeah.
says that.
No, the funny fact is that the my brother and my big brother, they're like very similar as like physiognomy to my mom,
Mm,
but also as a like a character. I think I am very similar to my dad, but then
yeah.
with like some things of my mom.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, very like I'm if yeah, you see my dad, I'm like very similar to
yeah.
him, and my twin brother is like so like the copy of my mom, and
Oh, wow.
it's also so funny because I am very similar to my sister, as like
Yeah.
she's blonde and I'm very similar, and my brother is very similar to
Mm.
my big brother. So it's yeah, it's fun. It's I have twins. I think is very special. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you ended up on the beautiful Lake Como.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm from the Canottieri Lario, so it's
Yeah.
one of the main point of the Lake of Como, and I think it's so cool. I'm, you know, I'm part of that. So, but like, it's very historical club, and um, yeah, there were people who were like there was Senigalia, who was a rower who rowed in the Second World War.
Mm.
There is his shell in the
Ah,
club.
yeah.
So just let me know if you wanna visit my club. I'm so happy, and they will.
Oh, fantastic.
Everyone. Just you have to just text me and just say, oh, I'm Como, and I will let you visit it. And it's even like my teammates here. There is a girl that she's living right now with me, and she actually met my mom before me
Oh,
because
wow.
she's I don't know if you remember Calder, the Canadian.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, the daughter is rowing with me, and
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, he was training in Pusiano also, and then they went to visit my club, and my mom was like, there is also a club, there is a club, it is a club for rowing, but also there are like people associated to that, so there is a pool,
Mhm.
and they met my mom, and when she came here she was like, oh, I actually met your mom before here. And I was like, oh, interesting. But honestly, another thing is cool because like, I went to Shanghai and I met so many people from Washington, that I was going
Yeah.
around with the course, and I made so many friends here that will be forever. And it's crazy how like small is the like the rowing like environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like yeah, people like even in Pusiano. It's funny because I train in Pusiano because like I'm from the club of Como,
Yeah.
but I train on Lake Pusiano because it's less wavy. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know Pusiano. Lake
No, I don't. But I,
is
I,
where
I know where it is.
yeah, it's where the New Zealand team is and the US team
The US team, yeah. And
are training there.
the Dutch team used to
Yeah,
train there, didn't
yeah,
they?
exactly. So
Yeah.
I was there, I was training by myself, and I was like chatting with people from US, chatting with people from New Zealand, and and we go out for pizza, and we were here actually in Seattle, and we were like in the same team at one point, and it's so nice. And you know, even like talking, speaking in English, and maybe 5 years ago I could not do that. Maybe yes, but it wasn't like very clear. And
Mm,
now, I came here and I took the decision to come here. So I think it was like a brave decision, and I think also it's
mm,
thankfully the federation, because they let me train here, and I'm
mm.
actually training for the national team here. Um, yeah, and
So,
so yeah.
so you don't have to answer this question, but I'm going to ask it. So, if I could grant you one wish, what would you wish for?
um, I wish to. Um, I think I wish to be for sure like always like healthy and happy, and
Okay, it's a good wish.
happy where I am, happy of what, also happy what all I have achieved in my life, and
Mm,
be always like, you know always like chill about stuff, and
mm.
you know I mean, I went through a lot of stuff, and yeah, healthy, and yeah. Like yesterday, actually, there was this girl from the UDAP team, and she was a soccer player, and she has gone because she had a cancer. And yesterday I was like, actually, what is important is like to be healthy in your life, and
Yeah, yeah.
be in the moment, and those are like the actual problems. And so you know I wish to be always healthy, and happy of what I have. Yeah.
I love that wish. That's a beautiful wish.
Yeah.
I, Aisha, we've been talking for over an hour now, nearly an hour and 10 minutes. So I think I will say thank you and end the live part of this interview now.
Thank
It's
you.
been a wonderful experience talking with you, and you've been so open and shared so much.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so
thank you, Aisha.
much. Thank
Okay.
you for having me. Thank you.